Good friggin' morning from New England, folks, and welcome back to the So New England podcast for our very first venture in the business spotlight. And we have a wonderful one for you. I'm your host, Ian Brownhill. I'm flying solo, no RJ or even the producer. So good luck on how this sounds and looks. I make no promises, but I'm very excited to welcome on today's guest, Cortney Nicolato. Am I saying that correctly? From 401 Gives and United Way of Rhode Island, a company that I have been working with, a nonprofit organization I've been working with for the last 3 years now.
At least, yeah.
So super exciting. So welcome on to the podcast.
Good freaking morning to you, my friend.
I know.
It's so good to be here. And, you know, I can't thank you enough for your support and what you've done to support 401 Gives. I remember I literally cold called, DM'd you, right? And was like, hey, we have this really cool thing. It's 401 Gives. Hundreds of nonprofits participate. We would love to have your support. And you're like, done.
Yeah.
And we've just had fun ever since. So,
yes,
and you've
absolutely
made me cool to my kids. So thank you.
That's the biggest win, right? I think that's what a lot of people strive for. Is to be cool with the kids.
Day made.
Yeah, no, I tell you, when I first started with the social media thing, I always knew at some point I was like, I have to give back. Yeah. I have to find a way to get into some sort of venture as far as what I can do for my community, what I can do for the nonprofits, for any organizations or foundations. So I think you were probably the first one I worked with. And then from there, I've been starting to get into it. Once people saw that I was into philanthropy, so to speak, they were like, let's do it. Cause what's a platform good for if you're not doing good with it? So.
And I really appreciate that you balance that. You understand that community is everything. You don't just talk about New England and Rhode Island, you actually want to do something about it. And,
absolutely.
And not everybody does that. So I appreciate you.
Of course. And I will say, as an influencer, it is a unique situation where people come to me for the consumption of entertainment and whatever facet that is. I've got a lot of avenues. But when you try to be vulnerable and when you try to speak up and say, here's the things that I'm passionate about, it's a dicey road because people are like, I don't necessarily come to you for that information, or I'm not necessarily looking for that type of information from you. So I've tried to find a delicate way to do it. And then also once you open up the floodgates, everyone's like, oh, this person's got this. Can you support this? Can you? Right. And it's so hard because I just want to say yes to everyone. And then it's like you spread yourself too thin. And I also don't want to come off as disingenuine and not participating. So I just want to clarify, I do make all the donations. I go to these events. I support, I buy things when they do, I hold up the little card whenever they're doing an auction and I buy things. I try my best. I'm not just trying to make myself look good here. I'm trying to participate. So long-winded, but.
Well, that's what it means to be in community, right? I'm a firm believer that if you're going to be in community and you're going to help better your community, you have to give of your time, your talents, and your treasures. And I know that that's often difficult for so many people. It can be $1, it can be $5. The minimum donation at 401 Gives is $5, right? And so if you have an organization that is meaningful to you and you can give $5 for that, do it. And I think that's what it's really, I don't think Rhode Island can be its best unless it has folks like you who are willing to say, no, I need to step up in some way. And so, we talk to Rhode Islanders every day who want to make a difference. And sometimes they feel like philanthropy is this 6-figure, 7-figure gifts, or it's not. It's actually just anyone who's willing to step up for community and want to make change.
And I love that. I love that. And I want to dive into all of this. But first, let's get to know the face behind United Way right here in my seat. Cortney, let's hear your story. What led you to the position that you're in now? Yeah,
so I grew up in Pawtucket and proud resident of the Bucket and have been for a long time. And so went to URI. I'm now on the board at URI and totally stoked about the women's basketball team right now. They're crushing it.
Rams.
Tammy Reese is a rock star. And so, it was always this idea. My mom always taught me to leave the world better than you got it. And at the same time, I watched how hard it was to live life, and how many people, when my neighbors and friends work so hard to make a difference and leave the world better than they got it for their kids. And so I always had this desire to give back. I was always the captain of the teams. I was always the one leading. I was also the one doing the fundraising and the pasta dinners and all the things, right? And so it was always part of the DNA and we had strangers at our dinner table all the time because my parents were convinced that we needed to give back. And so, and I think I learned a lot from them on that, but I also loved business. Like there was this desire to be in the business world. I interned whenever I could in high school. I was that kid who worked full-time and went to school full-time in college. I often say I was the only one with a suit on a rainy day going into business school. Everybody else was like, no, I'm going home and taking a nap after this. No, I'm going to work. And so because of that, I always had this desire to be in the business world. I went into the business world and came back and went, something's missing. Like something's not connecting for me. And so I had the opportunity to move to Dallas, of all places, Dallas, Texas.
Wow.
In 2005, leave Rhode Island, which in and itself was...
It's a rarity.
Correct.
It's a tough decision to make when you're a Rhode Islander to leave.
I remember one of my friends said, their parents, I'm so proud of you, kid. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Do you know what I'm doing? They're like, you could be collecting garbage, but you're leaving Rhode Island. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing a little bit more than that. But yeah, that's great. And so went to Dallas, Texas, worked at the American Heart Association's national office. But Rhode Island's got like a big fat magnet that's always trying to pull you back.
It's just something about it.
It really is. There's something so special. And I was doing all this incredible systems work, really thinking about how do we build more affordable housing? How do we help create healthier lives? All of these things that I was doing throughout my career. And still I wasn't doing it in Rhode Island. And so like a good Rhode Islander, I read the Providence Journal most days. And I saw that my predecessor, Tony Meoni, was retiring. And went home to my husband and said, I think I found the opportunity. Because if I was going to come back, it wasn't going to be for something other than something I can make a real demonstrable, like real meaningful impact. And so I said, but they're not going to pick a girl that doesn't live in Rhode Island right now. So it's fine. They're going to want somebody who's in Rhode Island. And my husband's like, nope, you're going to get it. And we're going to move to Rhode Island. And so in 2018, about 4 months after I put that application in, we were moving back home to Rhode Island, and I've been serving here at the United Way ever since. So, it is incredibly meaningful to come home and serve a community that gave so much to you, and to be able to know that I'm bringing experiences that I did globally back into my hometown. So
I love that. And what is your official job title?
I'm officially the president and CEO
Amazing.
Of the United Way of Rhode Island, and again, been here since September 2018.
Amazing. Fellas, let me talk to you for a second, man. Look, it's 2026 and you're not feeling like yourself lately. I get it, but it's time to do something about it. You got low energy, you're having bad workouts, you can't seem to focus. You are not alone. And trying to figure it out in today's medical world, hell, it can feel like a total hamster wheel. That's why we at the So New England podcast are wicked excited to be partnering with Game Day Men's Health. Now, here's a few fun facts. Your initial consult and lab work are completely free. And most of the results are done right in-house in about 15-20 minutes. It's a medical office built specifically for men with licensed professionals who actually give a damn and explain what's going on so that they can create a real game plan for you. They offer testosterone optimization, peptides, yes, there it is, buzzword from socials. I know you're seeing it everywhere, peptides, ED solutions, because fellas, there ain't no shame in the game, baby, and more. All completely personalized to you, which was me and the fellas' favorite part. Check out one of their locations in Garden City, Cranston, or Wayland Square right in Providence. Quick, easy, professional, and we cannot recommend them enough. Check out the video on our socials of our personal experience if you'd like, so you can kind of see what it looks like firsthand. Because me and the fellas, we all got our blood work done, and we're now all on our own customized plan right from Game Days Men's Health. So what are you waiting for? Take control of your health today, boys. GameDayMen'sHealth.com and book your appointment today. Now, what is the difference between United Way of Rhode Island and like the 401 Gives? Is that an initiative that you guys have? I think that there's a lot of fancy words that people read online when it comes to foundations and nonprofits and what people do for example, 401 Gives. It's like, is there a way that you can kind of simplify? Give us your Chat GPT version, right? Because that's what everyone loves now. But simplify it so people can kind of understand exactly what it is necessarily you do on a day-to-day, but also the differences in these organizations and what they're able to do for their communities. Yeah,
so United Way's focus is on how do we build strong families, strong nonprofits. Simple, right? And our real focus on building strong families is how do we help families become stronger, be more economically mobile, have a safe and affordable house to live in, and kids have a high-quality education. So that's on our strong family side. On our strong nonprofit side, we want to ensure that all the nonprofits doing really good work can be the best businesses they can be, right? In order to do that, we've got to create programs at scale.
Right.
So that we can help ensure that folks like you get to meet new nonprofits that maybe you never knew even existed. And so we did that through 401 Gives. And so it's actually based off of a program that I participated in Texas called North Texas Giving Day. And during that time, I watched just this real energy being built around the importance of nonprofits. It was a, 36 hour day of giving, really focused on amplifying the importance of our nonprofit sector and raising critical funds. Now in Texas, they raised like almost $70 million in one day. And so when I came home to Rhode Island, I noticed that the culture of philanthropy was different here, that not everybody was giving even $5 to their favorite nonprofit. And so I said, what about a giving day? What if we do that? And so 401 Gives was birthed. And oddly enough, we didn't realize that our first 401 Gives was going to be April 1st, 2020. We were like,
tough one.
What?
Tough one.
But the good news is that it was a digital fundraising, and there were so many nonprofits that had to cancel their events at the time. Our goal was to raise $1 million. We raised 1.1 million that year. And so 401 Gives is a program that is powered by the United Way. It is part of our team. We created it because we saw a need in community, and we said, if not us, then who? And so we have a great technology partner in that, but it's one of our many programs that we have here at United Way.
Excellent. And year over year, you've increased the amount of money that you guys have raised.
Crushed it broke every record year over year over year. And in fact, last year was year 6. And we raised $4.9 million to nearly 700, I think, or 600 nonprofits. We had 20,000 donors. And so just blew every record out the window.
I mean, that's amazing that much was accomplished with only 20,000 if you consider how many people live in the state of Rhode Island. So I think we can hopefully, with this podcast and some pushing this out there, hopefully we can, even increase that more this year. That would be great.
And we really try to make it as easy as possible. So we are again on pace to have a record number of nonprofits participate. The need is so great for nonprofit organizations right now. And so what was really important to us is to make it as easy as possible. So you can go to 401gives.org. You can literally search, like, I love animals and I live in Warwick, or I am interested in social services in Westerly, or whatever it might be, or everything in between. And then you can go and kind of search around, kind of like a shopping portal, right? You go in, you can learn, this fits my size. This is what I'm interested in. Whatever ones you choose, go into your gift basket, kind of like your shopping basket online. And then you make your gift. And so, it's open 6 a.m. on March 31st, and it closes at 6 p.m. on April 1st. And so, our hope is to raise more than $5 million, and we're anticipating we'll have about 700 nonprofits participate.
Beautiful. And all of these nonprofits are based in Rhode Island?
They are.
How many total nonprofits do you guesstimate? I don't know if you know an exact number.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Okay, what is the exact? How many are in Rhode Island alone?
So we have about 3,500 nonprofits total. Wow. Now, what's really interesting about the makeup of nonprofits here in Rhode Island versus other communities I've worked in, we have a lot of small, kind of founder-led, very community, very hyper-local. Shocking, Rhode Island has hyper-local, right? And so very hyper-local nonprofits. And so, what's really interesting about 401 Gives is this levels the playing field for a lot of those smaller nonprofit organizations that don't have a means to digitally fundraise.
Right. Okay.
And so it really does change the game for a lot of our smaller nonprofits and allows them to participate in something that is kind of bigger than they're able to do on their own.
Incredible. So how would a nonprofit go about getting involved if they needed assistance from the United Way? Yeah,
so they can go to 401gives.org. There's a section for nonprofits, and in there you can go to register. It's really cheap to participate. It's like $50 for a nonprofit to participate. Also in there, you get all the templates and the tools. You get online training on how to kind of best optimize 401 Gives. I always say we're going to give all the media and the tools and the marketing and all of that, but it is what a nonprofit makes of it, right? Like if you go on and you don't update your page, guess what? You're probably not going to get anybody to donate to you.
Right.
So it's really about making sure that nonprofits are equipped not only with the site, but also that they have a clear understanding on how to really make the most out of it.
Oh, Perfect. Okay. Now, my next question, I guess, would be the fund allocation. So I understand you're saying that you can directly just choose who you want your money to go to. What about those who are unsure and just want to make a donation? Is that possible as well?
There isn't. You can go. I mean, listen, if you want to make a gift, you can go to unitedwayri.org, and I'm happy to accept your gift at any point in time. And that goes to multitudes of organizations doing really good work on the most basic needs of Rhode Islanders. So I'll say that. I'd be ashamed if I didn't plug that. But you could go to 401gives.org, and you really could just search. I would encourage folks to kind of poke around. And so, if you want to support, my grandmother is an older adult, and she lives in a senior center. I want to learn and see what other older adult facilities are around Rhode Island, you can do that, right?
Excellent.
You can just search by tag, by keywords, by tags, and then really learn about, I encourage always folks to just type in your hometown, just type in Pawtucket or Warwick and see what comes up. And you'll be surprised. Often I say to folks, you have no idea how many nonprofits that actually interact with your life. It could be your kid's soccer team, or, my children are in musicals. It's the Boosters, or, my son is in a Civil Air Patrol, or my other one's in youth theater and all of that. And so those are all nonprofit organizations that are interacting. Your childcare, your senior centers, all the pets we rescue, all of those are nonprofit organizations. The arts, I was at PPAC earlier. And so, those are the types of things that I think Rhode Island is beautiful and creative and smart and strong because of the nonprofit sector. And so this is your opportunity to learn about what nonprofits might be around you.
I love that. And I think, again, this is some learning, some clarification, again, on like the fund allocation portion of things. When a nonprofit receives funds, and obviously you're talking about all the initiatives that they have in their community, how exactly does that get used? Because I think a lot of people hear the word nonprofit and it scares them. They're not quite sure. And I'm like, am I going to donate to this? And then I'm going to see them on WPRI 12, how they took all my money. Like, how do people kind of ensure that they're choosing the right organization and what they end up doing with those funds and what it can actually directly impact?
Yeah, I think doing your homework first to understand the organization, how long it's been around, how much work it should tell you, how many people they serve. There's kind of flags that you should be watching for. We have, as part of 401 Gives, we have verified they're all 501c3s. They're all official nonprofit organizations. So you don't have to worry about that.
Great.
But really looking to see, look at their stories, look at what they're sharing, look at the impact that they're making. If you want to go real deep and nerdy, like data nerdy, you can go to a website called Candid, and Candid will actually show you what their financials are and what type of efficiencies they built. If you're giving $5, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But but if you're interested in like really nerding out on kind of nonprofit effectiveness and efficiencies, there's a lot of what they call watchdog websites that you can check out. But I would just look for the things like, they've served 100 or 200 or 1,000 or 5,000 people last year, and this is the type of results they've gotten. Like, really look and see what they're telling you. Don't, go or lean on something that's around you that or you've heard of, or a friend supports or something like that. So, in Rhode Island, it's like a, half degree of separation. So
yes, always.
My guess is there's probably 5 or 10 nonprofit organizations that list that is surrounding you in some way, shape, and form. And so, there's lots of ways to kind of figure that out. You'll also see that the nonprofit organization will highlight what they're fundraising for, right?
Okay, great.
So the United Way we actually do fundraise on that day. We don't talk about it as much because we're fundraising for everybody, but United Way does fundraise, and we're fundraising for our Family Stability Initiative. And we're going to talk to you. We're going to share videos on our page of what the Family Stability Initiative is, why it's important, the fact that we've kept 85% of people who participate housed and actually increased income. Look for those types of words as you're reading the impact that they make.
What would you say was the hardest thing to learn growing up?
Probably learning how to use, save, or spend money.
You legit worked in banking, did you not?
You're welcome.
Are you still with Dime Bank, or are you too Hollywood now?
Okay, rude, but yes, I am.
Imagine your followers finding out you're with a Connecticut-based bank.
Okay, first of all, they have a branch in Wesley, Rhode Island, which is where we grew up. So really, that's brownie points because I'm sticking to my roots. Second, I think everyone would appreciate that I'm with a bank that knows and understands their community. Their tagline is legit. Community banking lives here.
Hey, I'm not asking you to sell me on it. I've been banking with them for years, and they know me on a first-name basis. I'm just saying I'm surprised is all. I can see the headlines now. Mr. Anti-Connecticut actually banks with local community bank?
Okay, you know what? Follow along with me here. They're FDIC insured, equal housing lenders, wicked friendly. They take care of all my personal needs, have expansive products to help all my businesses, offer lending across the board, merchant services. What more could I possibly want or need? And you know that I secretly like Connecticut, so...
Oh, I hope you heard that, folks. Dime Bank is the reason Ian loves Connecticut.
Okay, you're ridiculous. Funny story, though. You know how they have like the mobile app with like banking, Lifesaver, you can do all the deposits. Have you tried to teach your mom how to do the mobile deposit
No.
yet? I was teaching my mom how to do it, and she takes a selfie instead of the check. Visit dimebank.com to learn more. This is so great because I feel like I said, I feel like I'm learning quite a bit just kind of being here and sharing this information. Now, I don't want to put you on the spot in a biased sense, but is there some aspect of where we are right now in Rhode Island as a community when it comes to the nonprofits that you see as this is where there really needs to be some help? Like this is where there's not enough money being allocated, whether it's from the state, from the government, and things like this initiative can truly impact these people and these nonprofits in our region.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a very super quick history lesson. So
Yes, please
in the
do.
60s and 70s, it was the federal government actually funded a lot of the things that nonprofit organizations do today. And so in the 60s and 70s, they said, oh, you know, that food thing and the housing thing and all of that, we're going to let states take care of it. We're going to give you funds for it, and we're going to let the states take care of it. Well, can you imagine that funding still kept going away, right? And then now there's none of that, very rare, not a lot of the funding. And so it fell on the backs of nonprofit organizations. And now it's happening even more. And so you have a state that isn't investing enough in the key areas, the most basic of needs of Rhode Islanders. You have wages not increasing at the pace of, and I think we've all felt that, right? My boys are teenagers and eat me out of house and home, and the costs of groceries are crazy, right? I just filled my gas tank today at about 40%, 40 cents more a gallon than it was even a week ago. And so wages are not meeting the needs of families. And over half of Rhode Island families are either in poverty or they're what we call ALICE, asset limited, income constrained, and employed. So they're working poor. And so because of that, the onus has been falling on nonprofits to provide support. And so as all of this funding changes is happening, folks are still walking in my door and a lot of nonprofit stores saying, I need help. And so we have food shortages, we have housing shortages, and organizations like ours are doing a lot of work not only to help the needs of today, but really focus on how do we fix these long-term issues over time and striking the balance between the two. And so nonprofits are fulfilling and keeping people housed, keeping lights on, keeping people healthy, keeping people fed, keeping people educated, right? These are so important. Yeah. And nonprofits are really filling that gap. And so, and especially here in Rhode Island, they are leaned on in ways that I never seen in other markets and other places that I've worked. So there is a need for us to, one, advocate for more funding for nonprofit organizations, and then two, investing in nonprofit organizations. It can't be one or the other. It's got to be both.
Oh, see, this is the stuff that always makes me nervous because I get into this and I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm doing everything I can. I need to, I have to fix this.
Right. And I'll tell you, listen, I love my job. I love this work. It is a struggle bus sometimes when, you know that folks that are coming in the door are working their butts off to support their families and at the same time can't make those ends meet. No one should have to deal with that. And yet here we are, and the numbers keep rising and rising and rising. We have a program that we provide utility assistance called the Good Neighbor Energy Fund. And we're just seeing countless numbers of Rhode Islanders come to us and say, I can't make these utilities. They're too expensive, and never had to ask for help before. I often say there's there's a courage that it takes to pick up a phone and say, I need help.
Absolutely.
And we don't take that for granted at all. When folks call us, we run a hotline here called 211. It is the front door to social services. It's available 24/7. So if you ever have anything that you need, any help that you need, you can just call 211. We can figure it out for you, right? And so that 211 call center, we talk to about 100,000 Rhode Islanders every year on that call center. And the team is so empathetic and compassionate and just amazing. And when someone calls in and says, I need help, there's just, we want to make sure that they know that they've got a warm, compassionate voice on the other end. And so that's what we do every day. That's what folks that come visit us here that need help. We're doing taxes for free right now, as an example. And so, that's on those days where I feel like I'm on the struggle bus. I can't forget the people we're serving either. And it makes me feel proud. We can't serve everybody, but man, oh man, we're doing our part.
Yeah. And you're doing a wonderful job at it. Like I said, since the day that I've walked in this door, I've felt nothing but welcomed. I've learned every time from you and from the staff here. And each time I leave with more feelings of compassion and wanting to do my part and my duty in making change in my own community. And I think the irony about this particular podcast and myself is that I have created an entire persona and career based off of complaining and talking about New England and the way that our attitudes really are. And Rhode Island is, while we do fit the mold of New England, I think that Rhode Islanders are really the only way to understand a Rhode Islander is to be from Rhode Island and understand how we think and we feel and we operate, and why there are so many towns in such a small state is beyond me. But 100%. Each town has its own main street and its own feel and its own personality. But the wonderful thing about this is, again, to harp on that irony, is that if we stop complaining and we get together, because no one is coming to save us. You know what I mean? There's no boat coming to pick this up.
Right.
And what you're doing is helping to bring together a community of people to help each other, to link arms and say, like, okay, if no one's going to save us, we're going to save us.
Exactly.
Because we're a small state, but man, are we mighty.
We do. We punch above our weight class.
I love that.
100% all the time. And one of the things that I often say to the team is, yeah, we're small but mighty, but we get shit done.
Absolutely.
And I think also, what's really important is what I have also seen. So as CEO here at United Way, I got in about 15 months before COVID.
Right.
Crazy. And then since we've had floods and hurricanes and 4 freaking feet of snow and all the things. It was wild. We took.
Looks like you're getting your roof done right now. It's like I see
all
tarps.
the things. Yes,
oh
all
goodness.
the things. So, and we're 100 years old. We turn 100 this year at United Way in Rhode Island.
Wow! Happy birthday.
Thank you. And we've done this like real cool history of like seeing everything that we've done. And when the going got tough in Rhode Island, we were here, but we weren't alone. And I think that's the thing that makes me so proud of Rhode Island is we rally.
That's it.
We rally together. We take care of one another. Even if we're ticked off about something, we're going to get together and we're going to do it. And I watched that through COVID. I watched that even as soon as the last blizzards. I've seen Rhode Island rally together. And there is a power and a passion behind Rhode Islanders that are willing to step up. I will tell you, with 401 Gives, I had countless people say it's never going to work. Cortney, nobody's going to ever come together. No one's going to raise money together. It's never going to work. That's, for me, if you know me for 5 minutes, you know that that's fuel, because I'm going to do
right
exactly the opposite of whatever you're skeptically telling me.
Right.
But also at the same time, I knew Rhode Island would rally.
Yes.
And that's exactly what they've done. Like 401 Gives is my favorite day of the year in Rhode Island, only because I watch people celebrate the good and I watch people rally together, and we need more of that in the world, right?
Amen to that. Amen to that. Now, to kind of wrap things up here, what would be another way people might be able to get involved? Are you guys looking for help in the office on the day of events? Are you looking for hands-on? Because sometimes people may not have the funds or what they feel is enough funds, but they want to invest their time, which is just as valuable. So how can people also get involved if they don't, if they're not going to be donating directly?
Yeah. So there's a lot of ways at United Way that you can get involved. One, we run the Volunteer Center of Rhode Island. And so if you're interested in giving of your time and your talents, reach out to us. We can help point you in the right direction. We also do board matching. So if you're interested in a board spot with an organization, but if you want to do something like donate books, we run a book drive. We actually run the largest book drive in the state for children's books. And we're kicking that off. You can go to Centerville Banks. You can go to Cardi's Furniture stores. You can go to our website and get the full list of places where you can drop off gently used or new books for kids. We have a big event in the beginning of June where we actually sort all those books. We put stickers on them to get ready to give to kids. And we last year did about 40,000 books. So
wow, amazing.
Go to our website, unitedwayri.org, and sign up for that because it's such a fun day. We've got a DJ. We're just having a blast. And so it's a really good time. And, and we're always happy to talk to someone who's interested in giving back, but doesn't know where to go or what to start. The fact that they even call and say, I want to give back is worthy enough to have a conversation and say, okay, let's talk about it. What do you do that you love? What do you not like to do? And try to find that right fit for that person. And so we do it all the time. I call it the matchmaking with nonprofit organizations. So I would definitely encourage you to do that. The other thing is to advocate. We run a number of Advocacy 101. So if it seems scary to go to the State House and provide testimony, it's not. I can promise you all of those people are other Rhode Islanders and you probably went to high school with most of them. And so,
Could be a distant cousin.
All day long. And so it's a good opportunity though to speak up. I often say democracy is not a spectator sport. And so you really have to step in and provide. If there's something you truly believe in, you believe in education for kids, you believe in after school programs for kids, you believe in keeping seniors safe, anything, you can provide testimony and provide your thoughts to our legislators. And so we actually provide training here at United Way for Advocacy 101. We'll actually put you on a list where if there's bills coming through and you want to provide testimony, we'll send you a text message so you can be involved, whether it be local or state-based. And then the last thing I'll just mention on kind of ways to get involved, and this isn't in my like a total softball, like really super easy, is as I mentioned, United Way is turning 100. We're going to be hosting a water fire to celebrate
Beautiful.
our 100th anniversary. So go chill, look at water fire, and then go celebrate 100 years of United Way in Rhode Island. And so that'll be on October 17th.
October 17th. Mark your calendars,
everybody
folks.
do the good weather dance and all the things. But we really wanted to make kind of a for community by community celebration because that is who we are and that is our history at United Way. And so we can't wait to have some fun on October 17th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. So many different ways to get involved. And I think that from my standpoint, because I'm not educated in this situation, so like I said, I've learned a lot from you today, but from what I'm able to do is I spend so much time on social media. Mm-hmm. I'm constantly consuming and I'm constantly seeing people who are feeling hopeless, helpless, not sure where to turn, whether that's in need or mm-hmm. a desire to help. So hopefully the individuals who are listening, who are my social media peers, or they're just consumers of content on a regular basis who said, I want to do something, I don't know what to do. Hopefully this episode here has enlightened you and given you more than enough information, especially for Rhode Islanders, on how to get involved with nonprofits and foundations and other things that can help directly impact your community so that you can see the change that you've been seeking. So rather than, just posting about it online, saying this needs to change. Well, we got to do something about it too. So
that's it.
And if there's one last thing you could say here to the camera, just to kind of entice people about 401 Gives, feel free to look right into the camera and just give us your little spiel here on how we can convince people. $5 is the smallest donation. Gets the cost of a cup of coffee, guys. So if you can get some coffee, then you can definitely make a donation, right? So
yeah, that's it. And 401 Gives is an opportunity. It's a statewide giving day, and it's an opportunity for folks to come together and support the amazing nonprofit sector that we have here in Rhode Island. And so you go to 401gives.org from 6 a.m. on March 31st to 6 p.m. on April 1st. Give early and often because there's matching gifts and prizes and all kinds of things that you can do. Nonprofit organizations are the fabric of all that is good in our community. And we're so very lucky to have the nonprofit sector here in the state of Rhode Island. It is our time to support them. No gift is too small. No gift is too big. And so an opportunity to go on and let's help raise over $5 million for these nonprofit organizations who are crushing it day after day after day. It's what makes Rhode Island so special.
Cortney, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate all the information. I'm wishing you and your team the best of luck. You know that I'm going to be hands-on, so whatever you need, you guys can look forward to seeing some posts on my channel as well as the podcast channel from everything with this episode, and hopefully enticing people to help make a difference here in our beautiful little state.
I appreciate you so much, and I appreciate your partnership, friend.
Oh, my pleasure. All right, folks. That is going to conclude episode 1 of Business Spotlight here with the So New England podcast. And in particular for today, we're going to switch it up. Please try and remember, folks, life's better in Rhode Island.
Red Sox